Good evening.
Hello and good evening.
How are you, Doctor?
Very nice. It's good to see everyone. And I request all those except Dina, who told me she can't put on her phone right now, her video right now. It'd be wonderful to see the faces.
Thank you.
Good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And I presume all of y'all are in the same time zone, or y'all are in different time zones.
Different time zone.
Right. So good morning, good evening, wherever in whichever part of the world you are. It's wonderful to be here virtually. Unfortunately, I could not join this time. Last few years I've been coming regularly to ASU Minafarai, but this time I could not make it. But it's wonderful to see everyone here. I have read your reports. I know all your names, and I'm trying to match those names and the faces that I'm seeing. And I know some names are twice over, so I'm trying to see the differences so that if I can remember some of those names also. Wonderful to see you all. I'm Hinal Shah. I am a psychiatrist by profession. I work in a municipal hospital in Mumbai, which is a teaching medical college and a tertiary hospital. I have done my FEMA fellowship first time in 2006 and went ahead to do it again in Philadelphia, and I went ahead to do my master's in Maastricht, and I'm a global faculty for FEMA, and I'm the co-director at the Mumbai GSMC FEMA Regional Institute, and it's wonderful to see everyone here. And I'm hoping along the way I'll get to know you all better. And today is really mandate is to talk about one of the sessions in leadership. As you are aware, I'm sure in your orientation program, you must have heard that basically FAMR has an experiential model where whatever you learn is applied in your project. And around it are the educational methods, there is program evaluation and program management, there is scholarship and research, and there is leadership and management, and all somebody needs to put there. Yeah. Somebody's background is making a noise. I request you to put it off. Yeah. So all this surrounded by cultural humility and a community of practice. And for each of these, curriculums, we have various modules that we will do. And one of the first one today that we are doing is for leadership. And what we are doing today is in leadership, they've given you a reading, I think, which talks about a leadership curriculum, which has been written up by Paige, Ray, myself, and Zara. And it talks about what is the leadership curriculum in FEMA Regional Institute. And we look at it as knowing yourself, knowing your team, and then knowing your college, and then knowing your community. Most of the sessions work on understanding yourself and understanding your team. We do a little bit of work on knowing your institute because it's difficult to do that because everybody's context and institutes are different. So it's so difficult to do those kind of sessions, but yet we give some opportunities to do that along the way. So the first thing is understanding yourself. So today's session is all about understanding yourself as a leader. And before I really start my slides, if we can just have a quick round of introduction, name and where are you from? That's all I'm asking so that I don't take away too much of your time. So if you can start, I'll call out your name as I see you. And if I mispronounce it, please correct me. Amani?
Yeah, you're correct. You pronounce it very nice. Amani. I'm emergency consultant working in Dubai, but basically I am from Egypt.
Wonderful. Amira Ahmad?
Yes, I'm Ahmed. I am from Egypt. I'm working at Tanta Faculty of Medicine as lecturer of public health.
Wonderful. Ahmad?
Hello, I am Ahmed Samir from Egypt, in Shams Faculty of Medicine. I'm pleased to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. Abir?
Hi, I'm Abir Abdel Mohsen, a professor of physiology and from Egypt.
All right.
Thank you.
Khushbu?
Hello, I'm Dr. Khushbu Goyal. I'm from Nepal, Kathmandu, and I'm very excited to how this progresses, the further lecture. Very excited to see you and meet you. Thank you.
Wonderful. And Amal Abhafuz?
Yes, I am an associate professor of pharmacology in Egyptian Drug Authority, Egypt.
Nice meeting you. Saumitri?
Hello, ma'am. I'm Dr. Saumitri. I'm from Hyderabad, India, ma'am. Very pleased to meet you and excited for the learning.
Wonderful. Shaima Abdel
Shaima Abu Sadat.
Yeah.
Shaima Abu Sadat. Which one? Which one of us?
Yeah, Shaima Abdel Sattar. Yep.
Okay.
I am Shaiman Sattar, professor of radiology, Ain Shams University, Cairo, Egypt. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So next is in my Amira El-Nassari.
I'm Amira Al-Ansari. I'm Associate Professor of Internal Medicine. Nice to meet you, and I'm so excited about the FEMER and the education we are going to receive together, inshallah.
It's a wonderful journey. We're all going to have a lovely time. Randa Hesham?
Hello, I'm Randa Hisham, Associate Professor of Ophthalmology in Shams University, Cairo, Egypt. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Marwa?
Good evening. I am Marwa Salah, lecturer of orthodontics. I am a dentist, and it's nice to be with you.
Thank you. Gamaldeen?
Hello, everyone. I'm Egyptian, working now as a lecturer of microbiology at Jordan. Welcome.
Wasan Salima?
Dr. Wissam.
Good evening. I am Wissam Zahir, lecturer of anesthesia and here and Shams University. I'm here with you today.
Nice meeting you. And Shaima Muhammad?
Hello, I'm Shaima Mohammed. I'm Associate Professor of Oropharyngeal Radiology from Egypt, Ain Shams University.
Nice to
meeting
meet
you.
Yep. Dr. Salva Hasnain.
I'm Associate Professor, Cairo University from Egypt, Consultant Primary Health Care.
Wonderful. And Maggie, I have had the fortune to meet Maggie the last few times that I have been there. Wonderful to see you. And she has taken me around Ain Shams University a couple of times. So I have seen your beautiful university also.
Yes.
Nice to see you, Maggie.
Hello, Professor. Hello, everyone.
So I think I've gone around the room. Have I left out anybody? No?
Yes.
Ahmad. Yes, please go
Yes.
ahead.
Thank you. I'm Ahmed. I'm assistant professor from University of Rizwa, Oman, with
Okay.
majority in musculoskeletal and sport physical therapy.
Wonderful. So we have people ranging from India, Nepal, Middle East and Egypt. So we've got a whole big spread that has happened there. So wonderful to see all of you. And, FAMER journey is wonderful. These 2 years are going to be magical in your life. So without much ado, let me start with today's session and understanding yourself. So I had asked you all to do something, and had you all ever done something like this before? So have any of y'all done this kind of test before? Has anybody done this before?
Yes.
All right.
Never.
So was your test that you had done before and this similar?
No, wasn't similar.
It wasn't similar. All right. We will go ahead and see how it works. So what we are doing really today is that to realize and understand our leadership style and to know that all of us are different and know that not that one is better than the other. It's just that to understand our strengths and weaknesses better, we are trying to do this kind of test. And the objectives of our session really are to get a theoretical overview of the test we have done. You've got some results, whether you accept or understand those results and whether you feel that really reflects you the way you are, make you aware of the different preferences, and most important is to capitalize on your strengths and the strengths of the colleagues. So we all have differences, but eventually to know what are our strengths and how to use them well is the important part. This is Carl Jung, and he had said behavior is individual and predictable. And basically because behavior has certain characteristics and it stems in from individual preference styles, and therefore it follows certain patterns, we have tests like these which make you understand. And there are many different kinds of tests, but we went ahead and used this test, and we'll come ahead and talk about why we did this test. What is our assumption? That everybody has a preferred pathway to excellence. The way they think, or the way they behave, the way they lead, everybody has a certain preference style. And this type of preference or the type that you have can explain some behavior, but it cannot explain you completely. It gives you some hints, it gives you some understanding, but it always doesn't give you the complete answer. And in this test that we have done, which is a free version of a test created by, which is the MBTI and created from them and adapted from that, has 16 types. So obviously all 16 cannot be same, like all ISTJs are not one type. There is variation within that also. But it gives you certain understanding of what are the main characteristics or preference styles of those people. And because it gives you some understanding, you should use it to understand your strengths, but not decide to use it that I can do this task only. Because if I can't, my preference style is this, so I'm better suited for this task. That's not what this test is meant for. Because we don't want to stereotype people based on their preference style. And the ability to use this understanding to manage yourself better is the basis of today's session. All right. So having put that disclaimer right in the beginning, we'll go ahead to do this. So this original test was developed and used by the Myers-Briggs test and by the mother-daughter duo. And that is a paid version, and you have to be a trained coach to do it. So neither have we taken the paid version, nor am I a trained coach. So this is a free version which we have been using. I have taught it in India, I've taught it in ASU, I've taught it in Africa, I've taught it in Indonesia. We are using a free version which is adapted to that. And with that, we are going ahead to understand our style. And why do we use that? Because A, it's a self-report instrument, it's not judgmental. It is a way to sort rather than caste or stereotype. It's very well researched, and it has, professionally interpreted, and it is used internationally all over. Like many of you all may have done it also, and people use it for all different kinds of things, for fun, to understand, and many other things. So the original MBTI test is available in all these various languages, 25 languages and maybe more by now, and it is a paid test. So it helps us. Why do we use such a test? Because it tells us our preference times. It helps us to reduce misunderstandings in communication. It helps us to give you some insight on how we should talk to people and what do they want. If you're in a team or you're leading a team where people are different, what is it that will motivate that person? Or how should you speak to a certain preference style? What are the way they think? That gives you some kind of understanding. Having put that theoretical background, let's try and get to work. In a few minutes, we are going to put you in breakout rooms. So there will be 3 breakout rooms, and you will each work in your group. And what is it that you are going to do? The first thing that we are going to try and understand is how we look at our lifestyles. So each group is going to talk for the next 7 minutes or 10 minutes. How would you naturally approach a vacation that is scheduled 4 months in the future? So you have a vacation which is 4 months in the future. How would you naturally approach this vacation? So we are going to put you in the groups, and there are 3 groups, and you all are going to discuss this. So I'm going to urge you, one person is going to keep time, one person is going to come back and report. So you decide amongst your group who's going to report back and who's going to see that the time is met, and the third person is going to see that everybody speaks. All right? So have you understood what's your task? You will be put in 3 groups. In those 3 groups, you all are going to talk about how would you naturally approach a vacation that is scheduled 4 months in the future. All right? And I'm going to give you 10 minutes to discuss this. Can we have them going in the groups? The breakout room session 1. So it has 3 groups, which I've shared earlier.
Okay.
Thank you. I think all of them have gone to their rooms, right?
Yes, yes.
Maggie, you need to go to your room too.
Well, actually, I have postponed the fellowship this year. It's a last minute decision. So I'm just sharing today with you.
Oh, okay. Abir's waiting in the waiting room. I hope all's
Okay.
well with you, Maggie, and I'm glad to meet you.
Yes, I'm glad to meet you too.
So Abir needs to go to her room.
الدكتور ماجي نرجع تاني بالروم. دكتور ماجي.
كده فات 10 دقايق بالظبط. نرجع تاني. انا كنت فاكره ان هي الروم هتخلص لوحدها يعني،
لا لا
بس
لا، ما هي بتخلص لوحدها بعد ال 50 ثانية، فانا اقفلهم اقفل.
خلاص
تمام
كده
اوكي.
المفروض يرجعوا.
Welcome back. I think some of you all got interrupted in your conversations of planning your holidays.
Yeah.
But let's start. I know that the group one had Dina, Amani, and Shaima over there, and Dina was having like difficulties. So if Amani or Shaima would like to tell us how they have thought about their holiday, which is 4 months from now. Would one of you like to share?
Yeah, it's okay. We can both share actually. It will not take like more than 1 minute. We took in discussion, me and Shaima, about 9 minutes. It was very fruitful actually, because we both, we just feel the sensation of vacation now that we are planning for vacation. So we start smiling actually, and we start recalling what we are normally doing. And at the end of discussion, we were chatting back together what is the places you visited and what you are doing and like this.
So I think if you have become mute.
I unmuted myself.
Shaima, would you like to
Yes.
join us? I think she's muted, yeah.
Okay, I was discussing with Dr. Amani because I was telling her that I'm a last minute person, so I never plan things ahead. So it's only on the spot. Maybe I tell them before leaving at work, before I leave a month ahead. And I told her also that I'm fond of shopping. So this is the first thing I look for when I travel. So I look for the outlets and I look for the places where I can buy stuff. So, and again, I told her that I love coffee so much. So I look for the cafes and restaurants that serve coffee. This is the first thing I look for. And that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're
Let's
most
go
welcome.
to room 2, which had Ahmad, both the Ahmads, Amal, Amira, both the Amira, Zabir, and Gamaldeen. One of you please share about how you all discussed vacation that is 4 months from now.
Yeah, I'm going to represent the group.
Yes, please.
We are 7. We have 3 men and 4 women. And it was very interesting that all of us was looking for this vacation. The point that we had some difficulties as regard the timing for the family. So we need all the family members to be suitable at the same time. Also the aim of the vacation and the people who are going to join. And it was very questionable, the duration of the vacation. We took it a little bit like we need a long duration for the vacation, but who can have this nice chance? And also the ability to get into connection with the family members. We need all to spend more time with the family members, except Dr. Abir, who went with her sister alone. She just want to have the vacation with the sister. All are looking for a nice vacation in a new area or a new country or other countries who have a very good, nice places and natural scenes which can be enjoyed. And also Dr. Ahmed Samir find it very difficult for him to make it because he has this hectic, as he is the director of the e-learning department in his job. So it's very difficult for him to take the vacation. So this is the reason about our group.
Superb. So it seems like you'll have decided who's going, when they're going, how long they are going, and what are they going to do? Did you all decide the place or anything else? Did you do more detailing on that?
Yeah. Everyone experienced the place who is looking for. So Dr. Gamal was looking to go to travel to Australia. Dr. Abir is going for shopping and spending time with her sister. Dr. Amal is looking for the North Coast. Dr. Amira is going to travel to a place for relaxation, either inside or outside Egypt. Dr. Ahmed was the timekeeper for the group, so he was very decisive and has a very strategic planning part. So he gave us the ideas. So we have to look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And Dr. Ahmed showed us the difficulty to have this vacation, but he is going to go to the beach, spending the time with the family, with nobody is going to be there in this specific beach.
Oh, so people seem to have decided when they're going, how they're going, who they're going with, and would they start working for that holiday now, or would they do it later? Like we heard Shaima say, I was a last minute person. What about your group? How were they going to do it?
We didn't think about this.
All right. So we shall now go to the last group, which is Marwa, Randa, Salva, Khushbu, Samitri, Vesam, and we'll hear what they have to say. Let's see how they've planned vacation.
Yes, in Egypt, we say that the best time of the vacation is the time before the vacation. So also in our group, we shared the same ideas. We had from the planning. The place where we go, asking about the place, asking the website TripAdvisor or colleagues or anybody reading for the reviews of the place we will go. Also, we will look for the visa or any passport or any logistics that will be needed before the vacation. Also, we will read about the places, the famous sightseeing, also the places of the shopping to have souvenirs from this place. Also, we will read about the weather to arrange for the clothes. Also, we look for markets and places with good food in this location. Also, we will arrange for emergency medication with us. Also, we make the credit card ensures it's working. Also, we read about the regulations of places where we go. Also, I think this is the most. Also, I also arrange first to look for who will go with the vacation with me, either a family member or a friend or whatever. This is all the ideas we shared.
Wow. So can you see that there seems to be a lot of difference when Amani and Shaima were talking? They just told us, oh, we'll go somewhere, maybe where there's coffee, maybe where there's shopping, but they didn't tell us who they're going with. They didn't talk about when they're going, how long they're going. They didn't think about visa. They didn't think about credit card. None of that came up. And in the second and the third group, they get into more detailed planning. They're telling us when they're going, who they're going with, how many days they're going, when will they let their workplace know. They've started looking at the website. They're seeing where the historical sites are, where the shopping is, what's the money that's going to do. So there seems to be two different ways of approaching the holiday. And that's exactly, and remember, not that one is better than the other, right? Can you see my slides? Not yet? Okay, 1 second. Let me share them again.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Now.
Oh, yeah. So now we're going to talk that people do two things. Either they perceive their environment and then make judgments about what they perceive. What is perceived? Look at your environment, see everything about it. And B is make judgments about it. So what does it really mean? People who are perceiving are gathering data, and people who are judging make decisions with the data that they have gathered. So you normally perceive, gather all the data, and then make a decision, or judge, gather information and then decide. So how are these two people different? Well, some people, when interacting with the outer world, prefer to just keep gathering information and gather more information and gather more information with no pressure to make a decision or a determination or a judgment call. That means they like to keep observing. In the first group, there was no hurry. Oh, we will decide. I'll look for places for coffee. I will look where there's good shopping. There's lots of time. I don't decide so early. Maybe 1 month before I tell my place of work, and then I'll start looking, right? So all these people prefer to perceive. And the last letter of their type will be P. On the other hand, people with this perceiving like to remain open and adapt to new information. There's no hurry to make a decision. Should I go to Germany or should I go to Nepal? You know, should I go to Hyderabad where Soumitra is, or should I go where Khushbu is, or should I go to Jordan? What is it that is there in each of these places? So they will keep looking for information and taking more information, and they love doing that. While on the other hand, there are some people, when they're reacting with the world, quickly gather that information and make a decision from whatever data they have gathered. They don't need a lot of data to make a decision. And with just a few points, they can quickly close it and make a decision. These are the people who prefer to judge. And the last letter of their type is J. So people who have this judging preference style are these people who come to closure or make decisions quickly. So if we look at the two of them, people who have the judging preference style want everything to be settled and ordered. Yeah, they are time-oriented, they like deadlines, they like goals, they like results, they hate surprises. And if you look at them, they're very organized, everything is filed, categorized well. People who are perceiving like to keep things open. They always have plenty of time because they don't want to do things in a hurry. They like to see what turns up. They love surprises. If you look at their organization, they're not as organized, and their intent to have piles. People who have the judging preference style make conclusions fast, and they quickly commit to make actions or decisions. And they love routines. And they like to plan ahead and get, tick the list that happens. And they make those lists and use them. While people who have that perceiving style like to not commit, they want to keep it open. They reserve the right to change plans or decisions. They look at routines as limiting. They love to go with the flow. They often make lists and lose them. So you see these two. Remember, neither is better than the other. Both has its strengths, both has its drawbacks, all right? So what do you think this represents, J or P?
J.
This represents?
P.
Yeah. So both reach. So judges will say, I have made a schedule for every day of a vacation. One day I'm doing historical sites, one day I'm going to the cafe, one day I'm doing shopping. Perceivers will hate it. There's a schedule for every day of a vacation. Nonsense. I'm going to see what is there and I'll decide over there what to do. All right? Judges have a list and they keep ticking it up. Perceivers will decide in the morning what to do. So we see that there are these two different styles. Does this make sense to you? Have you understood what is the difference between J and P?
Yes.
Yeah? All right. Now that we have understood, we'll go to the second part. Now we are going to see how people take in information. So I'm going to show you a picture But before I show you that, I'm going to show you a picture and then you all are going to go into that groups. Again, there are 3 groups, and once you go into that groups, you all are going to discuss what you all saw in the picture. All right? So I'm going to first let you see this picture for a minute or 2, and after which we'll put them in the breakout session 2. Again, there are 3 groups. The first group has Soumitra, Shaima El Sadat, and then you have the names of the other 2 groups. So let me show you the picture that I want you to see for a minute, and then you will be put in your groups. All right. Now, you all are going to go into that groups and you're going to describe that picture. And I'm going to give you all 5 minutes to discuss it, and then you all will come back and report it. If you can please put them in the groups.
Yes, for sure.
Amira and Wessam have to go to the groups, I think. Maggie, I think we need to add these 2 to the groups.
Yes, okay, sure. Um,
I think Amira is in group 2.
Yes. I suddenly find myself again in that group after joining group 2.
تمام يا دكتور، احنا نقلنا حضرتك في بوب اب مسج كده بتظهر لحضرتك، اعملي اوكي عليها وادخلي.
Maybe it's an internet connection problem.
Can she try and join the group?
Yes, we're trying to get her inside the rooms.
Superb.
I haven't joined any rooms yet.
Can you join room 2? Will you be able to join to see if you can do it on your own?
Okay. Now it appears on the screen that accept to join room 4. Should I accept or okay? Now it's room 2. Okay.
Okay.
We'll give them 4 minutes and we get them back in 4 minutes.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Once it's 5 minutes, we should get them back.
Okay, for sure.
Welcome back. Let's start with room 3, which had Amira, Abir, Gamaldeen, Shaima, Wasam, Khushbu. One of y'all describe the picture that we saw.
Okay, doctor, I will describe the picture. Uh, First of all, we all noticed the big castles of sand that reflected the playing kids. We all noticed. And then group of people noticed the nature, the sea, the waves, the blue sky, the sand, and others noticed the people, the running man, the two people with the dog behind them, the family, the one notice or meditate in the front of the sea. So that's all what we saw in the picture.
And so did anybody else notice anything in terms of how it felt or what it represented?
We didn't ask this question between us, but yes, I think one of my colleagues described the picture as being serene environment.
All right. Excellent. Now
Serene.
let's go to yeah, please go ahead.
No, I mentioned it as serene.
Serene.
Yes,
All
serene.
right. So you felt it was, Khushbu, that it was a serene picture, serene scene. Fantastic. Let's go to the other group which had I think that's the other group which had Ahmad and Amal and Armani, Marwa, Amira, Salva. What did you find in that picture?
Okay, I've just taken some notes of what my mainly it was the big, very huge castle. The details here was not that cheerful. Because the lightning, maybe it was not that sunny. We also felt sorry for the people who had a lot of effort in doing the castle, and it was going to be destroyed in second with the first wave. We also I noticed the house at the corner and how the view is going to be magnificent living in such a house. I think the lightning of the picture, we didn't like it a lot. The proverb building castle in the sands, that how much you put efforts and in second it's gone. The sea was not in its there was no waves, people swimming or something. I think if people who built the castle were just sitting beside it, having a picture to keep the memory that's going to be lost, it was going to be much more fun. I think these are most of the ideas we have shared about this
Excellent,
picture.
excellent, excellent. And then I'm going to go to the last group, which had Soumitra and Shaima. What did you all find?
Okay.
Ma'am,
Okay.
you want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start, Sumitra. Start.
Yeah, okay. So me and Shaima, like both of us, we have started discussing, and I have started talking, and Shaima was listening initially, and I felt that the castle was quite, big and very structured. It had a semicircular outer wall, and it was as if somebody has put those in with some kind of props or something, not props, but it was made out of something, and the waves were far away, and like whoever has made the castle was not around, and we also talked that it's a very difficult job. Neither of us were interested to build such castles, and we are happy sitting and watching the waves that are far away, and how we hate the sand sticking to our clothes. So both of us had similar idea, and we wish that we sit on the other side and enjoy the sea views. And she said that she'll be very happy with a book to read, and the sensation of beach was great, and we are happy on the other side rather than taking so much of effort. Neither of us are so creative, so this is
So
what
did
we
you
had talked
see,
through.
so I'm just asking you a question. Did you see any detailing of the castle, or did you all see detailing of the people? Then describe some of that if you have.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we felt that it was a semicircular one. Yeah, I think Shaima, I think you can talk.
I did not notice the detail. I
So
just
you
noticed that there's a sink. I did not notice the details. I haven't seen the sea. I haven't seen the people. I haven't seen the house. So I just saw the sandcastle, and I saw these blocks that is kind of being organized. I don't think it's so organized. I think it's destroyed a bit. So, but I didn't take notice of any of the details.
All right. So from what I'm hearing, Saima and Samitra were looking more at sensations.
Yes.
So the feeling of the sand, then they
Yeah.
saw that there's a sand castle, which was semicircle. It looked as if the architecture was done in a particular way and it had a particular design and how it was arranged, and that would take a lot of time and that it was too much of effort to do that.
So, and we hate doing the sandcastles. We
Yeah,
agreed
and
upon
that sensation of that sand was not good.
sticky sand. We hate this. Yeah.
While the other two groups were talking about, well, it looks so serene. While there is nobody, why is there such a sandcastle that is made, and why are they not taking a picture with it? Why are there no people swimming in the sea? There are people who are walking around, and there is a house, and if you have a house there, there would be a magnificent view. So they were looking at more of exploring beyond what the sensation was. So if there is a house, it's a magnificent view. If there is this castle, it would be wonderful to take a picture. If there is a water, why aren't people enjoying the beach? So there seems to be a different way of looking at it, and let's just discuss that a little further. Again, I keep saying none of this is that one is better than the other. Both are different. All right. So I've had people who've actually counted how many people are there. Is there a one dog is there? How many, this castle has how many, the circular pyramidal things. So people have come with such minute descriptions also. So when we look and we look at the information, we look at it in two ways. One is with our sensing and one is with our intuition. So we are talking about the second alphabet, S and N. So people with the sensing preference like to take in information in a precise and exact manner. The sensation of sticky sand, they will like, while those who are intuition like to take in information in an ad hoc and innovative manner. If the house is there, may have a magnificent view. If people sit this way near this sand castle, it would have been a fantastic memory picture. So people who are sensors take in information by hearing, seeing, smelling, taste, details of the moment, touching, that sensation of sticky sand. While people who are intuitive take that data and extrapolate. Water, why is not anybody swimming? A house by the sea, what a magnificent view. A sandcastle made with effort, so why not a picture? So they are taking the data and extrapolating. And these are the people who are intuitive. So sensors prefer facts. They prefer the tried and true. They're practical, realistic, and they like predictability. Intuition prefer theory and abstraction. They prefer the new and untried. They're usually more imaginative, more dreamers, and they like change. Sensors see problems as needing specific solutions based on past experience. They focus on the practical application of the situation. I mean, too much effort to make this, and it's going to be washed away. All right, might not see or care about the big picture. Want to know what is. While intuition, with this preference style, they see problems as opportunities to be innovative. They get inspired. They focus on the future. They look at the big picture and sometimes miss the details. They want to know what could be. So it's often said that the intuitors see the forest but miss the trees, right? While the sensor sees the trees and miss the forest. So sensors will keep needing more data. Intuitors will look at one thing and say, hey, this seems like a great opportunity. So before we go to the next one, does this make sense? Have you understood what is sensing and what is intuition? And intuition is called N, though it begins with I, because introvert and extrovert has an I already in that. So therefore, intuition is labeled as N. So you have S and N. Is this clear what it means at least?
I have question.
Yes.
Do you think from your experience we are born S versus N, or our life experience make us more S than N?
Definitely. One is we have a preference style, but because of context, because of our education, because of many other things, we may learn to do different things. If we have a natural way, maybe you work this way. But sometimes, because you're, say, a surgeon, you have to use your senses much more than you would use your intuition, right? When you're and you're operating. So it all depends also on how much you learn. But there is this natural style which is there, and after which you adapt to that. All right? I hope I've answered that question.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So now we are going to one more alphabet. So I'm going to again put you in two groups. And in these two groups, I want you to do one thing. I want to, first of all, I want you all to think about what is conflict and what is your reaction to it. First, let's talk in a group. What is conflict? What do you think? How do you define conflict? Anybody can say. What is conflict? What, according to you, is conflict?
Actually, if you allow me, I can define conflict from my point of view that when there is like both of us cannot see the situation from one point of view. Like I can see from my point of view is totally different from the other one. So we are reacting upon what we can see, everyone what we can see. And if like it's not matching together and there is like it's totally opposite each other, it will start to have conflict at this time.
Perfect. That really explains conflict. And we have conflict every day in our life. It could be a simple thing like a student has, student doesn't have enough attendance, and then what should we do with him? Or it could be that your colleague is asking for leave and you want leave at the same time. So there can be a conflict. That there are two different ways to teach this, but which is the best way. So the different types of conflict and how do you react to it and how do you find solutions to it? So now I'm going to put you in two groups. You can imagine any conflict you want, and you all can decide and discuss how each one of you reacts to conflicts and how you find solutions to that conflict. Again, nothing right or wrong. We let you decide how it is. All right, so I'm going to give you about 7 minutes to work in your groups think about one conflict and how you react and how do you approach it and how do you solve it. All right, there are two groups this time. So go ahead and enjoy the discussion. Maggie, if they can go into their groups, please.
Yes, for sure.
Shall we call them back?
Okay, doctor.
All right, so let's hear room number 1. How would they approach conflict? How did they discuss it in their groups? The group had Ahmad and Gamaldeen, Marwar, Randa, both the Shaimas, Vasam, Saumitri. So what is your opinion? How would you approach conflict?
So somebody wants to start, or shall I start?
You can start, Shane.
Okay, so they were defining the conflict. So I suggested that conflict, when it comes to the core values, this is considered a conflict. So you cannot deal with people if there is something regarding the core values itself. So I think you can deal with people when it comes to other things other than core values. Marwa said that the conflict could be with oneself. So if like you want to do something and this is your preference, and there's something else you should do, maybe it's not your preference. So there's a conflict between oneself. Dr. Ahmed said that there is a conflict between parents and children, and they said we suggested that we have to work on solving these conflicts. So they suggested that you have to talk to your children and try to convince them, and according to the discussion, and tell them the consequences of what they are doing, or what they are approaching, or what they are planning to do if there's something wrong, and tell them that there are some bad consequences on what you're thinking or doing. This is what we discussed, and if somebody wants to continue.
If somebody else wants to add from that group.
Yes, I think Dr. Ahmed also, he added that understanding is the main point to solve any conflict. If you really have the desire to solve the conflict.
So Marwa, my question is, how do you get that understanding?
I guess if I put myself in the other one's shoes, if my son want to get out late or come to go outside in the cold weather, if I'm a mother, I will be thinking, oh, it's cold, he's going to catch cold, he's going to be absent from school. But if I put myself in his shoes and I think that he's bored, he just want to have fun, maybe this understanding that might help solving this conflict between me and him.
Okay, you get that understanding, but after you get that understanding, what are you going to do?
I think we need to compromise. I think if he wants
you
to
will talk with him, you will discuss.
Yes, I am going to. Yes, I need to talk. I need to discuss. Unfortunately, sometimes I might force him for something if he's not convinced. I'm sorry to say this.
That is life. That is life. All right.
This is fact of life. Yes, thank you.
Let's hear the other group, which
Maybe,
consisted.
ma'am, even like after a discussion, maybe we could come to a common point. That also could be done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we don't know. This is hypothetical. But we'll go to the other group and hear what they have to say. That's Amal, Amani, Amira, Abir, Dina, Salva, Khushbu.
Yes.
Yes.
We were looking to the type of conflict and with the person with whom we are conflicted with. Actually, if it's a family member, it's something else. But if it's in work, we are going to find the guidelines. We will go back according to the charts and the guidelines and the doses and things like this. But if we go for the family member, it will go for with age. I said, what if with experience, it's going to be like compromising, going with no conflicts. And one of the doctors said it's 100% yes. No more conflicts.
You want harmony, you don't want conflicts.
Yeah.
Now, we said also that we're using a technique for solving a conflict.
Yes. Solving the technique like set in quiet place and make the problem solving technique.
Yes.
And going to the problem procedure in place and control our emotions.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes we got exhausted with this.
Yeah.
And finding the common ground.
Ask you a question when you were saying this. If I can just interrupt, and I want to ask you a question. So suppose you are having a conflict with your family member and somebody's feeling hurt. What would you do?
We'll keep quiet. For me, I will keep quiet, waiting 10 minutes and until every people get relaxed, and then we'll start discussion. And what basis of the discussion in basic, يعني, what's the problem, what happened, if we act with this way, what could not be happen. Do you think if we it's not like counseling, يعني, do you think if we apply this approach, so what's the positive and the negative, what's pros and cons? If we're getting this another approach, do you think until we find the solution and put it in place?
Okay. And so you try and accommodate so that nobody feels hurt.
Yeah, try and accommodate and then find the acting proactive.
All right. All right.
This is coming from experience. It's not يعني, if you go back 10 years ago, shout, yell it.
What I'm seeing to hearing is that there are two different groups. One group says that, I'm going to find out what are the rules. I'm going to do what is right, figure out what are the pros and cons, and work out what is right. So they're going to think through it. So they said we'll look at the consequences, we'll think about it, we'll discuss it, and we'll do it. This second group is talking more about let there be no emotions that are hurt. Let people feel, there should be no conflict. People should not feel bad. So they're going more with feelings than with thoughts. So it seems to me that there are two kinds of people that are there.
Yes.
That people in a conflict, make decisions based either on their thinking or on their feeling, and which is that third alphabet that we are talking of. So you would make, if the people who are the thinking preference style use logic, they use objectivity when making a decision. This is not right. If we do it once, everybody will break the rule. If my son is allowed to go out, it's cold, he doesn't know what is good for him. So let me decide what is good for him. All right. While people who use the feeling style like to take individual and interpersonal harmony when making decisions. Keep quiet. He's feeling hurt. Just let it be right now. Don't try to prove anything. Let this thing pass. So they're looking at harmony. So they're looking at feelings. So people use either thoughts, logic to make a decision, or they use feelings to make a decision. When people are using thinking, they look at principles, policy, justice, standards, and they tend to be very truthful. And they want to know the data. What are the facts? And then they use the logic. While people who are using the feeling style, they're more worried about, intimacy, mercy, humane, the finer, emotions, harmony. And they're usually tactful. Not that they're lying, but they don't want to hurt anybody. And they're very, very interested in people. And they know when support is required. The people who are thinkers tend to be objective. They remain detached while making a decision. What are the pros? What are the consequences? And then I'll make a decision. They may argue for both sides and they'll try to be very fair. People who are feeling style, they tend to be more personally involved and subjective. And they look at values and emotions to maintain harmony. and they look more at being compassionate than to be fair. So we have these two different types that are there. So have you understood the difference between the thinkers and the feelers?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Yes.
All right. So now we are
Hello,
going to the
one
last.
question.
Yes. Yeah, go
Can there
ahead.
be mixed of thinking and feeling personalities?
So we'll come to that. That's a very good question, and I'll come back to that and hold that question for a while. I'm going to come back to that. All right. Now we are going to do the last bit. It's Friday morning. It's been a long week and you're tired. You're exhausted. FEMA announces that you have the day off. How would you like to spend that day? We're going to put you in two groups and you all are going to discuss. You've got a suddenly day off and what are you going to do? All right, off you go to your two groups to discuss. Maggie, they can go to their groups.
Okay, for sure.
Thank you.
This one for how long?
For 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I have a problem in the electricity, so I wanted for the mobile rather than to use the laptop. I'm sorry for this.
No issue.
No
I'm sure
problem at
Maggie
all.
will get you back to your room.
Yes, yes. Shall we get them back?
Yes, please.
Okay, for sure.
All right, so let's hear the first group. I think the first group had Ahmad, Samir, Ahmad Al-Karusi, Amani, Amira, Gamaldeen, Dina, Randa, Salva. Let's hear what you had to say. You have a day off. What are you going to do?
Just to sleep, enjoying TV shows and movies. No, there is no energy for anything else.
All right, anybody else in that group who wants to add something more?
Yes, I will go for outing. I will go to the beach, enjoying if it's sunny or if it's raining. I will go outing. I'm not gonna to sit at house at all.
And who would you go with?
I will go with whoever possible to go, and if there is none, I'm going to go by myself and enjoy the nature.
Very good. What about somebody else in that group? Would they like to add something more?
Yes, actually, I can see that everyone has intention to enjoy. And this is good from the start. The point is how to
Everybody
enjoy
wants to
and what is the
enjoy.
obstacles. But
No,
we have,
sorry, one second. Everybody wants to enjoy Amini, but the way they enjoy is different. So I want to know how you would enjoy.
well, actually, we start by relaxation. That means we are tired too much from our work. I can see that everyone want to relax first. That means physically we are literally exhausted. Then after relaxation, we will start about everyone, how has to enjoy. And for me, I'm like extrovert person. I just want to go outside my home, we leave the work just to go and see something different totally. So now I'm enjoying. Now I'm satisfying myself. It's like different. Yeah, not sitting at home all the time. But other people want to stay. Maybe they can stay at home for the whole day. It's okay for them.
All right. So I can see that you would like to go out. So would Amira would like to go out, be with people and do things with them. Let's hear from the second group. What did they feel? How would they enjoy? Some representative from the second group, Khushbu, Shraima, Samitri, Vasam,
We all
Marwa.
have the same. We all have the same answer for the question, that we relax at home.
All right. So they're very, very
No, but
clear.
someone said you might go for a little bit fresh air. I think someone said so, yes.
All right. So this group is very clear. We're going to relax at home, maybe go for a walk. That's it. So they're going to be with themselves. While the first group said, okay, if we're very exhausted, we first rest. And after we rest, we go out, we be with people, we enjoy. All right. So again, you see that there are two different styles of how people get energy. So when we look at how people really get energy, then we see that there are two ways of getting energy. And these are the people who are extroverted and introverted. Those who get have extraversion have a preference style which is direct, and they receive energy from the outer world. So they like to be with people, get energy from them. People who have introversion as their preference style receive and get energy, from, let me just show that, receive energy and get it from their inner world. All right. So people who have that extroversion prefer action over reflection. They speak in order to think. They enjoy the background noise. They don't mind interruptions. They like spoken communication and share their thoughts freely. While those who have the introversion styles, they prefer reflection. They think in order to speak. They like the peace and quiet. They don't like interruptions. They prefer written communication. They guard their thoughts until they're almost perfect. They act and respond quickly. They're tuned into what is going on around them versus what is inside them. They enjoy working in groups and they like to be in the center. People with introversion consider and think deeply. They know what is going on inside them more than what is around them. They prefer working alone or with one or two people, and they like staying in the background. So with this, we've come to the end of this type. And have you understood what is I and E? Is it clear what is I and E?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes.
All right. So if you put these 4 things together, you will get a combination, which is one of the 16 types. You could be ESTJ, INFP, or whatever it is, but there would be different combinations that would come in. But remember, no 2 INTJs are similar. For example, now this is Bill and Ralph. Both are no longer with the Fame of Philadelphia, but once upon a time, both were with Fame of Philadelphia as faculty. And you will see that in the original MBTI, there is a part 2. And when you do that, you see there are subcategories of all these things. And whenever you have some reading, you will see, 10%, 1%, 25%, 100%. So basically, it's the midline and how far you are off it. The more you are, or the higher your percentage score, you're more that preference style. So I think Khushbu or somebody asked me that question, can you have a mix of both? Well, if you're somewhere near the middle, right, then you can have both those. But the further you go away from it, you're more likely to have one preference style. Okay? So I'm just showing you how people with that same 4 alphabets yet could be different. For example, this INTJ has more of this type, while this is spread across more of those things, a mixed of those pictures, mixed of introvert and extrovert, while this is more introverted only. Here there is a mixture. So you could have different things that could be happening. Therefore, no 2 people are the same or exact. And also, you would have different things. Now, how could we use this? Well, one of the important things to use it is to make decisions. And this is the Z model of making a decision. One is you first look at all the senses. Means you deliberately use your sensing faculties to look at all the facts and details. Relevant details should be all clear. Then you look at the intuition, that is, what are the possibilities? Let your imagination run wild. You can brainstorm, consider various solutions. Then you can think, what are the possibilities that can happen? What if you were not involved in it? What would you suggest? What are the consequences of each of those decisions? What is the cause and effect? So that is the thinking. Finally, the feeling. What is the impact if I make this decision? Is this something that I can live with? Is this something that others can live with? Is there some gut feeling that I have about it? And then you make a decision. In this way, you have, looked at it from a panoramic view of all these things and made a decisions. What are the other ways and uses of this? One is understanding yourself and being a better leader, understanding the people you are leading, being able to communicate better. In healthcare setting, your colleagues could be different, your patients could be different, your students could be different. And if you understand their preference styles, you'll know how to work them better. And we have given you handouts of how to speed read, how to work with people with different reference styles. And that could be interesting. It's small reads for you to see how you can use all of this. But most importantly, before we go to all of this, what I want to ask you all is, now that you understood what each of these things is, do you think your test reflects what you are, whatever you have got?
Yeah, it reflects.
Is there anybody who feel it doesn't reflect? All right, so it seems to be working true for most people. But remember, somebody said I've taken similar test or a different same test earlier and I'm different now. It may happen. Like I may have been a feeler before, but if I'm a psychiatrist, I can't work with feelings. I'll have to put some logic in it. So you have trained yourself to use your thinking more, right? So over time, I'm a P. So today I'm doing this session alone. Very often I have a co-faculty. And if I'm a P till the last minute, my slides are not ready, I've gone to a session and just changed the slides over there. And if I have a co-faculty who's who's not a P, and they get tired of me because I'm doing everything last minute while they like to have it ordered, prepared, worked out well. So if I'm in that team, I'm very conscious that, okay, I have somebody with me who's not a P, so let me work on it and see to it that, that I do it differently also. Similarly, if you're even with your spouse, you can think about it that if you're a different people, how would you work? So these are the things that come into the picture when J and P work. So because J's work differently and P's work differently. So you have to think about how you alter your style so you work smoothly. Even when you're working in your team at place, or when you're students, or when you are, wherever you are with your patients, if we are more aware of how we think and how people have different preference styles, we can improve our leadership styles and communicate better. I think this is what I wanted to really say. And the last slide that I wanted to share for the day is everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. So everyone is different. Nothing is better or worse. It is just that we are different and we have to understand ourselves better. With this, I actually come to the end of all I have to say, and I leave it open for questions, comments, anything that you have to share. Have you understood this? Does it make sense to you? How do you think you could be using it?
Doctor, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you think while we grow up, we change the four letters describing me now? It might be much more different from me when I was 16 or when I was 10 or something like this. Does experience change the
person?
This?
Yeah. Well, it may. Not everybody changes. It depends on each person and each person's context. So you may change over time because of your experiences, because you have learned different things, you've seen different things. Yes, it can change over time.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Marwa. Any other questions, thoughts, ideas about this?
Thank you, Doctor. It was an amazing.
Thank you very much. We noticed that when we are divided in groups, we in the most of times we share the same ideas. Did you did it on purpose, or it's became as
Was it
this?
random?
Or
We think you did it on purpose. We think you did it on purpose.
You're right. It was very purposeful I have put the same preference styles together so that you all, can see the difference. Like in the first J and P, they said, oh, we'll think about it. It's too early. 4 months is too early to plan a holiday. While the last group talked about credit cards, visas, holidays. So I just wanted to bring out the differences, and therefore I put them specifically in these kind of groups.
A smart way. Thank you to make the idea clear. Thank you very much. We really enjoy the groups very much. The exchange of ideas, all the thoughts. We learned that the personality traits are a continuous spectrum. Nothing good, nothing bad. But we can change ourselves to be better persons, and for better communication with others, and to better understanding for others. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, so we can call it a day?
Yeah. So question as regard, so if I'm a leader of a team, do I have to need each type of each one of my team so I can deal with them easier?
So one way of doing it is, of course, doing the test. But even without the test, because you work with them, you can understand what they are like. And we have given you some handouts how to speed read people. So you look at the characteristics and you can guess what they are. And then you know what it is. Like if you're working, if I am working with my faculty, co-faculty is a J, then I know that at least 5 days before the session, I should have my slides ready, right? If I was working, if I am the J and I know that my faculty is a P, I'll have to keep gently reminding my P faculty that let's get things ready at least 1 day before. So it just depends on where you are and what perspective you're having.
So we are going to meet you once more again. So we will be experienced in reading people more.
I think I'm going to do one more session if I'm right, is learning circles. I'm going to come back for that. I think those are the 2 sessions I'm taking for you all this year. So enjoy your process. FEMA is fun, lot of learning, and this is just the beginning. So have a great day. Wonderful 2 years of learning, and we shall keep interacting in this virtual world.
Thank you
All
very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hinab. Thank you, Dr. Hinab.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie and the team, for managing the breakout room so well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hina. Waiting to meet you soon again in the circle group session.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.